Hi, my name is Preston Sandlin. I've been a home inspector for about 23 years. So what is a home inspector in North Carolina? A home inspector in North Carolina is defined as someone who writes a written report on two or more components of the house. These individuals have to be licensed by the North Carolina Home Inspector Licensure Board. That is under the Department of Insurance, under the Department Office of State Fire Marshal. There's actually a board. So anyway, let's talk about home inspections for a second. What exactly is a home inspection? A home inspection is a picture in time of the condition of that house, of just the ready, available, and visible elements. It is not a prediction on the future, what might happen in the future. And keep in mind, home inspectors can't predict the future. They don't have a crystal ball, and they can't see through walls. So anything that they couldn't see, you couldn't reasonably expect them to find that. Now, as a real estate agent, what are your responsibilities? You need to make sure, well, first of all, recommend that they have a home inspection. It is not required. It is not the law that a buyer has to have a home inspection. It's very strongly recommended that you try to talk to them, or you recommend it. And if they decide not to, you probably want to get something in writing that you offered it. Okay, so you want to make sure that the inspection is done, hopefully within the due diligence time, and that you're going to have time to make a repair request. When you get back the findings, you have a fiduciary duty to your buyer, to go through it and what and all you're going to ask for. You have to be really careful here. You don't want to get outside of your expertise. A lot of times a home inspector is going to say, this particular item's wrong, further evaluation by a licensed electrician. You need to make sure that you get that licensed electrician. You don't ever want to interpret it. You don't ever want to say, all home inspectors say this. It's just a CY, rear end thing for them. You don't want to do that. And you can always call the home inspector and ask them for, an interpretation of something, but you don't want, as a real estate agent, to become the construction or the repair expert. That could, lead to trouble. Make sure that you follow the home inspector's recommendations when they do say to get an expert. Again, the home inspection is just a picture in time. It is not required. Strongly recommended, though. Okay, a couple of last things to note. It's your job to make sure that your buyer gets the full home inspection reports. You need to assist the buyer, but again, be careful. Don't get outside of your expertise. Follow the directions of the home inspector, and you can always call the home inspection for further information. Now, let's say the deal falls through and there's a home inspection report on the house and you're on the selling side of it. There's always a question of, now that you know this material facts, do you have to disclose it? And that's kind of a tricky question. Technically, the seller can still mark no representation, but you as a broker's agent, you do know it and you do have to disclose it. I hope this has been helpful. If you look up the Home Inspector Licensure Board, there's a standards of practice on there. I highly recommend all real estate agents go and read that so they kind of have a better understanding of what home inspectors do and what they don't do. Sometimes there's some unrealistic expectations, I think, but the better communication, I think it would be better for everybody. Thank you.